Some weird connection problems. Bear with me. And looks like we're up and running finally. Alright. Rolling with it. We've got things to do today. I want to do this finally. Just need to test an Airstream shell orbiting the sun. Which basically just means escape velocity for an extremely light payload. So I think we're going to knock that out of the way and just get our funding. And hopefully open up a new contract. Because it's kind of infuriating that we can't do anything with that yet. So let's do... It's probably going to be my most bang for the buck option. I mean, we are going to be trying to get to escape velocity. Yeah. So I'm just going to endeavor to make this as light as possible. You take one of these 3.75 shells. Which is a massive, massive shell. Just doing this whole not calculating thing again. Here we go. Yeah, that should get to escape velocity. 1,504. Well, that might actually be a little short. Alright, let's strip this down and make it a little cheaper, too. Well, that barely added any, Like, that must be wrong. Well, we're just gonna see what happens. The only thing I need to do is get this to escape velocity. That's the only part of this mission. I forgot communications. Yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to recover that for a second, and we're going to put some kind of communications on it. Or else we are not going to be talking back to Kerbin. We're going to try that again. This monstrosity out of the way. I'm only going to give this one shot because I'm not getting a ton of money for the contract. I'm getting a decent amount, actually, but not a ton. And I'm worried I'm not going to get my money's worth. Okay, sure. Took me out of the game. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to go straight up. We just need to escape Kerbin's sphere of influence, and that's it. There's no worries about anything else. Certainly not worried about this slight roll oscillation we have. No, sir. Just looking for a stupid amount of acceleration. And a craft that flips itself end over end. It's probably not what I wanted. Okay. I'm in a little bit of trouble controlling it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we're good. We're good. Situation normal. How are you? Alright. Totally fine. Nothing bad just happened. So like I said, just going straight up, going for this escape velocity test contract. See what madness we can deliver. Okay, we're already in space. Start extending all our antenna. Make sure we can actually reach back. Continuing to accelerate. As we escaped Kerbin's gravity, hopefully. We're going to hit the second stage soon. Make sure we fire that right away. Alright. A lot of Delta V still to go. Looking good. Looking thing to independent solar orbit. How we doing on that? Already passed Mun. Look at that. Look at that. Not bad at all. Might even be able to maybe deorbit this thing. Be kind of cool. Smash it into something. Got a decent amount of fuel left in it. That was overkill. Who knew? So we just need to get this out to independent solar orbit, and then we will jettison the shroud, which will give us our contract completion. I'll turn it this way just so the solar panels get a little bit of sun. Keep us charged. Alright, so that's going to be a contract we're going to close out once that arrives. Here's one down. Could knock the vector out. Might save that until I unlock the vectors, just to make sure I don't disable that. Okay, let's plan out something for this cargo contract, and then also getting Steven Kerman back. We already have... Well, this is just going to go away now. We already have... most of the contract complete. We already have a transfer vehicle in orbit at the Jebediah Kerman station. My brain wasn't handling that for just a second there. Alright, let's see. We need... Sorry, 1. We need to make a version of this, I think. I think this is what we're going to go for. Okay, delete the fairing. Because we need to deliver... Was it 500? Is it 500 ore? Where is it? $500 units of ore. Okay. This only holds 300 units. That's... Okay. That's problematic. Each of these 75. So I would need... Really? That would give me another 300. So yeah, I need to basically fill that up. Wow! That is gonna suck. Means we're gonna have to do some creative weirdness here. Cheat a little bit. I'm not gonna be filling it all the way anyway. So, yeah, okay. This is gonna be very strange, isn't it? Yeah, this is gonna be a strange one. No doubts there. So we need a Optio heavy. So this is what's going to get us to the transfer vehicle. Alright, we're just going to dock directly with the transfer vehicle with this thing. Move a Kerman over to it. Okay. This is, Yep, this is going to be a weird one. So, towers. Main engine. I said towers, thank you. The boosters. It's on stage 1. Boosters separate. And then we get our second stage somewhere here-ish. With the second stage engine. We can probably blow the fairing before that. Then we separate off the second stage. Okay, and then the weird bits. We do engines for the main craft. Okay. Okay, yep. Then we expose our heat shield for our crewmen. And we drogue shoot to slow down. Hopefully completely don't... Well, might completely lose control. Solution time. Here you go. Totally weird looking. Fins to the rescue. So, as I was saying, those slow us down. Then we main shoot. Then we separate us. Our little capsule. So we land separately, so we're not trying to land underneath that damn thing. And this belongs way the hell down here. Doesn't that? No. This gets disabled. Okay. This insanity is what we need to do. Get rid of our pilots. We're going to launch this unmanned to the station. Right now. So, well, the station's actually in pretty good position. We're just gonna wait a little bit here. They get a little ahead of us. Okay. Off we go. Proof my insanity knows no limits. I like that after all these reckless booster separations, that just have no guarantee they're not going to hit the KSC. None of them have hit the KSC. Makes me happy. So we're going to ride this thing all the way up 10,000 meters before we start our gravity turn, which is right there. Kind of slowly tip ourselves. Make sure we're still steady. Okay, we're gonna drive now our apogee. Doing pretty good on driving apogee. I guess being 1.5 tons light definitely makes a big difference. And we still have fuel on the first stage. It's absolutely insane. Okay. We can officially ditch the fairing now. One minute, 18-second burn. So at 39 seconds away, where we're going to fire. And this is going to be our single Kerman return / 500-ton ore return. Yeah, definitely this being 1.5 tons light for this launcher makes a significant difference. This is kind of absurd. I probably could have just short-fielded the second stage. That probably would have been the responsible thing to do. Because I am going to have to eject it short on fuel, or with leftover fuel anyway. Although, no, it's not going to have that much extra. I guess we'll be alright. because I am going for a high orbit. We'll probably be able to use it just to get to the rendezvous. We'll get this rendezvous to the station. We'll dock it on the front port of our transfer vehicle. We'll get someone in it. Transfer vehicle will head off to Minmus Station, where it will change out crew. The existing scientist that's already gone on to Minmus' surface will get in. He will fly back with the ore that he's collected, and they will direct re-enter to Kerbin. Hopefully. Hopefully that all works. Hopefully that's how things go, and no one dies. Alright, we're finally in orbit. We want to be very precise with this burn, since this is also a rendezvous burn. This is a direct orbit to rendezvous. And we're looking pretty good there. I have about 0 complaints with that. That looks pretty solid. So right about here, we're going to do a bunch of maneuvers, all packed into one. So we are going to do our inclination correction. Okay. We are going to do our altitude correction. We're going to do our radial correction. Okay, it needs more altitude correction. Needs more radial correction. Okay, more altitude correction. More radial correction. Hey, there we go. Bingo! Perfect intercept. With a very small amount of adjustment. So we're going to aim for that. Use the second stage while we can, because we might as well. I'm going to have to probably thrust limit this, because it is showing only a 1-second burn, which might be hard to get that exact. 2-second burn will probably be a little better. Oh, no, don't want to change the maneuver, thank you. Warp to the maneuver. One second away from maneuver node, we're going to go full throttle, or full throttle at half thrust limit. And that'll get us on rendezvous with Jebediah Kermit Station. There you have it, boys and girls. Direct launch to rendezvous looked pretty good. Not a lot of adjustment to finalize it either. Okay. Beautiful. Alright, what does our speed difference look like when we do arrive? Relative speed only at 7.9 meters a second. That is downright impressive. So this is going to be one I can eyeball. I did not expect this to go this smoothly, he said, as everything suddenly crashed. So now we need to go retrograde to target because we are basically there. In no exaggeration of the sense. This is absurd how easily that one just went. Hear the computer shiting itself. It's usually not a good thing when you hear clicking. Usually means there's a hard drive dying. It's probably about time I back some of that stuff up. I gotta actually listen to that. Is there something in the fan? Doesn't even sound like a hard drive clicking. Anyway, we're here. So we have no other option, really, but to eject the second stage. We do not have the luxury of docking first and trying to take it with us because it's blocking the only docking port. So that kind of, you know, prevents that. So if we aim prograde, we will be aiming it retrograde, and off it goes in a slightly lopsided fashion, which hopefully still deorbits. It appeared to be a lot more radial change than anything else, which kind of frustrating. Kind of frustrating. Does appear to still be in orbit. Well, just switch to it real quick and check. Nope. Okay, it is going to eventually deorbit itself. I am happy now. I don't need more junk in space. So, now what we need to do with this guy is get this on the front of our transfer vehicle we loaded on the station last night. And I know I launched another vehicle that was supposed to refuel that. So this is just adding extra steps here. Because we have capsules that are capable of heading over there. But the important thing is I want to be able to return the ore. The unprocessed ore. For our contract. Don't know what they want to do with it. Not my concern. To navigate us around the station. This way. Not even sure this is going to have a stable re-entry. Now, the good news is the capsule's separate. So the capsule, if need be, can just separate off and do its own individual landing. That is the intent anyway. Gently gliding us in position for that open docking port. We're going to control from here, so we can actually see relative to where we're aiming. We do need to slightly adjust our rotation here, which would be a little bit this way, get a little bit that way. Okay, not bad, not bad. Oh, went too far. Went the wrong way. There we go. Now we're on a proper rendezvous course. Just glide it in. Just give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, taparoo. Glide it in. Oh, we're kind of still at a bad angle. So RCS off. There we go. Just back on, back to linear. The nav ball. With the same Actarius frame that's working really well for us. Okay, now quickly double check that we don't have auto strut anywhere, which I don't think we did. We do. That would be dangerous. All right. So I think that monstrosity is ready to go because we're fully fueled here. We do have monoprop in the main vehicle, I'm sure. More than enough, actually. Yep, by a long shot. So I think if we throw a Kerman in there to replace Steven Kerman, then we will be good to go. The problem, of course, being that we don't have any spare scientists. I see. Well, okay. We don't have that much science left to research here. Right? Alright, for now I'm going to loan a scientist. Cabin Carmen. I'll have to send up yet another pod. I'm going to use this brewery capsule to redistribute fuel to our other Acteris capsules and plan their returns before I go and eject that and free up space for another Acteris capsule to come up and send us on our way. So, all this is refueled. This all looks lovely. All right. So the guy is going to head on its way. I say little, but it ain't so little. To Minmus Station, to the Deep Space Gateway. Whoa. That light got ejected away from the station. I don't know how that happened. That was like an oddly violent ejection. Didn't hit anything, did we? Looking for damage, but I don't see any. That was strange, and I don't like it. Alright, we are now going to do some autostrut, though. Try and hold this together for our now crazy journey. Sure, everything seems to be aiming the correct way, which it does seem to be. We'll send Cabin on her lonely journey off to Minmus in just a moment here. Alright. Maybe I've done crazier things. Maybe I'm being a pessimist. So we need to mark Minmus as our target, which is going to then give us an ascending and descending node correction that we'll need to do, because we are 5.9 degrees off. So at this point we will need to create a maneuver node for a normal burn. There we go. I feel like I should save this just in case some time warping does mess with us. So we got a lot of parts in physics load right now. Just for my own sanity. Just to protect my own sanity. And then we will warp here. Okay, we'll have a 25-second burn. Which I feel like this isn't reading correctly. A 28-second burn. There you go. Now you're reading correctly. It's weird. So 14 seconds away is where we'll hit full throttle. That'll give us our inclination change. The more efficient thing to do, of course, would be to wait until we're in higher orbit to do this. But it's easier to calculate a maneuver node for a min-miss rendezvous when you're already in the correct inclination. So with all this extra delta V, this is what I'm going to do. This is so I can dumb a little bit. I think I overshot that. Just a tad. Really? All right. Now, we need to maybe like right about here-ish. Of course, at our apogee, so this is like the height of inefficiency. Oh boy, that looked interesting. Alright, right about there. We want to go maybe... Yeah. Actually, that should be fine. A 1 minute 35-second burn. That's interesting. That's going to be a brutal burn. So we're going to want to be 47 seconds away from the maneuver node. Okay, just got a very long burn there. So we accelerate off towards a min-miss. Poodle is not a terribly high thrust vacuum engine. High efficiency though. Good thrust for the weight. Good thrust to weight ratio. But when you're dealing with a massive tank like this, it doesn't help you a whole ton. But we do have a buttload of fuel, so it's really not looking so bad. Unless it's also drawing from our ship up here's fuel too. That actually kind of stinks. I will have to make note to refill that, as we will need that for our return journey. Almost done the burn. Okay. Might need to do that tiny bit of correction. I don't know. No, we do not. Okay, so we are already on our rendezvous course. 4 minutes, thank goodness. And Kaven Kerman is on her way. This definitely is a busy work kind of day. That's going to be a long journey. 7 days or so. Stuck in a capsule the size of a Mercury capsule, that's probably not very fun. Sorry, Kaven Kerman. Check out the prospector probe's doing. That's going to be lots of temperature scans and fun. Two days away from encounter. Holy crap. We were closer than that. Well, let's maybe check on, oh, that's this guy. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Appreciate the effort, but not what I wanted. Yeah, I like that I completely forgot about the fact that I have that refueler that's supposed to be my pusher craft. And I just made a whole new pusher craft. Oh, this only has one port. I needed the 2 port. So I guess... Okay. Not a total waste then. Could have just made a port adapter. But, yeah, whatever. Things happen. Things happen. Steve does useless stuff, you know. These things, you know. They're there. Now, anyway. I need to start setting up the fuel for these return craft. Don't particularly believe they need a lot of fuel. I think if they just maybe had each one of these worth. So I'm going to start dumping fuel from the craft into anywhere I can find room. Which is probably not going to be a bunch of places, because I tend to keep this fully fueled. But there we go, we found something. So we're going to use that as our dumping ground for our capsule fuel, so we can return only exact quantities for deorbit. Stop wasting fuel deorbiting craft. Almost done emptying these. It's actually going pretty good. Never includes lights on stuff. I actually have lights right here. It's just only on the docking ports. But otherwise, yes, I never include lights. Alright, now we start refueling these small tanks from here. So I can very precisely proportion this extremely painfully slow fuel transfer rate. So I need to get this refueling craft pretty much done with. I need to figure out how to get everything taken care of quickly. And then launch a new capsule up. With a new carbon. Oh, pardon me. For the lab. Alright, capsule number 1. Exactly measured proportions. This is going to be really drawn out and boring. There we go. Just a little over 30 fuel points, which should be enough to deorbit. And then we repeat. Oh. Oh, that's new. I'm glad I just experimented with that. I can refill multiple tanks at the same time. Well, that's much better then. Hello, fuel transfer, my old friend. Here we go. Out. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. It's refilling everything. Slowly. But it's refueling everything. And while that goes, I think I'm going to go get myself a drink. Because I can. Wow, that is a very slow field transfer. All right, let's see. Maybe I can do something else. Maybe I can do. Let's stage a couple of these over here. Out, 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 out. Oh. Okay, that kind of stinks. That's not really working. Okay, all these ones should be going out, out, out. Well, it lets me do one at a time, I think. Yeah. That is really annoying. If I do that. Oh, it does nothing for me. Well, at least everything's refilling. Better. While we wait on everything to finish. At least we get a decent view. Yep. I was really hoping I could have multiple sources feed to multiple sources. But it looks like I could have multiple sources feed to one source or one source feed to multiple sources. Those are my only two options there. A couple of the tanks are full now. Yep. All right. That looks like everything. Make sure these are empty so I don't F it up. Now we can put the exact proportions in each. And I failed to learn from what I just did. And I could have been putting both tanks in at the same time. I'll do that in the next one. But for this one, we need to now finish this off. Okay, another capsule with its 34 fuel. Okay. Give this one its 34 fuel. If I do this right, every capsule should have exactly enough fuel to deorbit. No wasted fuel. If I'm doing it right. What am I missing? This one? Yep. When that one's done, I'm going to now transfer all the fuel out of the brewery capsule there. I can't say capsule today. Capsule today. My brain's not working. Could be the alcohol. Could be the alcohol keeping me from saying most words properly. Don't know how this one ended up with ever so slightly more fuel. It's kind of weird. But I'll let it slide this time. So these should all be R. These should all be empty. This one's not. Okay, so we're going to use that one. And one of these. Nope. Fill them both at the same time. And then I'll dump those into the center tank of the brewery. Disconnect it and deorbit it. And watch it burn up and blow up because it doesn't get recovered. It's just fuel tanks anyway. I guess I could actually probably make an effort to recover the computer core aspect of it, but, you know, whatever. And the brewery should be pretty close to the same weight as the actual capsules now that it's drained of its fuel. I mean, I've been refueling while I've been refueling. So at least there's that. Okay, finally. Alright, so there's no fuel left in any of these at all. Except for that one dumpling tank. All the dumpling tanks are empty. Aside from the one baguette tank. All the baguette tanks are empty. Okay. Gonna pump that into the middle. So we are at least centered weight-wise. And our baguette tank is where? All right. All right, the brewery has done its job. We've got a decent amount of monopropellant in it still. I'm going to keep that as a reserve just to test my theory. We will normally keep just a tiny amount of RCS on board, a deorbiting capsules, just so we can separate from the station a little ways before we attempt our deorbit burn. Ends up being a very handy little refueler. Need to figure out a way to not do all these extra tanks in here, but, you know, for now it works. Taking advantage of our cheapest cost per ton to orbit launcher here. Some very basic controls. So you'll notice I have the cheap computer core in there, which is why I don't have retrograde or prograde tracking. I have to manually stability control and aim those. But yeah, this should be more than enough fuel. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. How much does this craft actually weigh? 2.2 tons. Okay, yeah, no. The regular ones will be heavier. So I'll need to reinvestigate that. But off we go. Deorbiting. Alright, and that'll go burn up in the atmosphere. Alright, let's see. Like the Space Center. I'm trying to multitask a lot today. So this is on its way out. And then we'll close this one out. This, the recovery vehicle's on the way. This, the scanner's on the way. This, the recovery vehicle's on the way. This, the scanner's on the way. So we should get through a decent amount of contracts pretty soon here. This, of course, the satellite's been on the way for quite a while. Same with this one. Those will be a while till they're done. More component recovery. Now this is the one I do already have grabbed. I just need to have a large enough craft to grab it and bring it back safely. I have not failed a contract yet, and I do not intend to. Now let's see. While I'm just, you know, not doing much, dawned on me that I have a couple extras on here. I want to see how much the Sagittari would be, because I don't think we were really getting a full 3 tons to Mooner transfer with this. I'm fairly sure we weren't, because I seem to remember we were constantly dumping fuel in here to complete the actual burn. Like, it had some of the fuel, but not all of it. So at 8,410 credits, what I want to see is, can we accomplish something similar just by tweaking an Optio? Because if that's the case, then I can get rid of the Sagittari. And I have a feeling that's going to be what we need to do. So what I need to see is, we know that this gets 5 tons to orbit. Slightly more, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So with no fuel in there, we want to add fuel to it. That would be option 1. That would give us more than enough for a moon transfer, but how much does it weigh? 0.275 tons. 0.4. Well, I can't brain for the moment, so let's reroute. Okay, so that would take up 2.1 tons of our 5 tons. So yeah, there you go. That's, you'd still have 3 tons left over. A little less than 3 tons on a 5-ton launcher. But even the other one wasn't a full 3 tons for the Sagittari. And this would still be cheaper. $75.43. And if we go to the Sagittari, cancel. Not what I wanted to do. Thank you. As I said, go to the Sagittari. If we take the extra antenna off that we now don't use, and the towers, it's still more expensive than that. So, Sagittari just got deleted. I can no longer justify having that in there. So the last of our old launchers, more or less, is gone. So what I might want to do is save a subassembly that I would call the Sagittari in its own right. My question is, when I deal with something like a Decanus Heavy that has the extra fuel there, does that change how much delta V I get out of... I mean, it will change it. I just don't know how much it will change it. If it'll be enough to make a significant impact when I go and throw these on. Nope, it would still manage. If just these had fuel, these would manage more than enough to do a transfer stage. So what I could do now, I could do that, although if I was going to do a separate, if I was going to name a stage the Sagittari, it would probably need to be like an actual functioning stage, or I probably wouldn't do it. So the question I have now, how much would this stage cost? I'm not going to bother with the fairing, because I am usually putting the fairing with the payload weight already. So if I have to do that again, it's no change from the norm. Now, if I reroute... Oh, you know what I was missing? The actual weight of the payload. That's what I was missing. Okay, we're going to come back to that in a second. We're going to do that with this bit, first off. Do a simulated payload. 3.2. 2.9. Yeah, I can stick with 2.9. Okay, yeah, this does not... Okay, wait a minute. Vacuum. Okay, this barely provides enough for Moon, not enough for Minmus transfer. So a tiny fuel tank, yep, would do just fine. So that would actually be a functional... That would be a functional stage. That would add 1,200, well, 1212. 1212 is a nice, easy number to remember. So that would add 1212. Grab another Optio because I screwed up. Well, if we do that, we're basically back to the price of the Sagittari we had, aren't we? $85.77. Yeah, then we're basically back to the same price. So the part that I was missing on the other bit, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And it was higher than it needed to be, so maybe we are okay still. Possibly not. So no fuel there. Okay. Wow, no, that's still 1247. Oh, we were calculating before at sea level anyway. So we were kind of compensating in the opposite direction. So that's overkill, even for a heavy payload. An actually quite heavy payload. So something more like 4.3 tons transfer, just by adding that. And even then, if I take the larger version of the upper stage as empty, it's still totally valid for transfer. Nope, not what I wanted to do. And that's cheap as can be. Wait a minute. 1,300. Yeah, 380. Okay, yeah, cheap as can be. All right. I'll come up with something for that later. Because if I wanted to get 3 tons, then let's kind of just mess with this. Not really getting many viewers tonight, so I might just call it early, but I'm gonna just play with this for just a second. So we already know this would be 84.78. All right, this is already expensive on its own. Okay, so that would be the separator for the stage. Okay, that would be normal. We would then put a shroud here. Now that I have a shroud that's the right size, 84.70. So we'll only really be adding 300 funds. Plus 400. So yeah, no, not that much more expensive than just using a moon transfer. In fact, I think actually cheaper still than using a moon transfer like the Sagittari. So this will still be totally valid. And 5.4 tons should be totally doable. This is what we'd use. I almost want to launch this as a reserve grabber to the moon just to test it. My overconfidence is ridiculous at the moment. I am like very confident that that should be fine. That'd be cool. What I need to do. Ooh, can I separate these out? Sorry, I just got a serious obsession with organization there for a second. Look at that. That is cool. How come I never remember these things? So we're going to pick Optio class would be 2. Can I... Whoa, okay, that is cool. I did not know I could do that. Just like bolt this onto the side. Maybe I did know that. Maybe I'm just being ridiculous. I don't know. But isn't there any way I can... Okay, wait. How do I would need to drag... Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to organize. We are going to organize. I don't remember any of the stuff about it. Okay. Can I just... I can't just, like, drag and drop it? That would be too easy, huh? $14.73 funds per ton. $14.73. So that overwrites the other one? Okay. I don't get it. Deal one heavy. It's the one that's 1236.11. Okay, I'm getting tired and I've had a bit too much to drink. I think I'm almost to the point of calling it a night already. I don't know why this one. Try that again. Spelled capacity wrong on the other one. Something I should probably just do off screen, huh? And then if I organize that, then I can start putting... I'll see, I could go like... That might be like an off-screen organization I do. And put... So I could put like second stages and first stages separate. And just know the rocket I'm going for and which ones I'm going to do. It could be fun. Fun for me because I'm insane. I like organization, but I'm tired. I think I'm going to call it a night without having done anything all that significant. Aside from getting our sun launch on the way. I might check and see how far away we are from actually getting that. An escape trajectory out of the sun. I doubt that. What I want to see... There we go, on escape trajectory out of Kerbin. This has 10 days before it escapes. So never mind, we are not going to be wasting our time waiting for that. We're just going to make sure that it can get its solar power. And we'll figure out what on earth we want to do with this. Note how it somehow is no longer facing the sun. It's interesting. So this little guy is a fairing test. This will close out a contract for the fairing. Should be kind of cool. Let me get that out of the way. All right. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna start being lazy, and I'm gonna just call it an early night. Just barely. Usually we go from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to catch our new streams, it's pretty much every single night. If you want to check our old stuff, though, you can check that down at the bottom. YouTube.com/DudeICalledYouBro. We've got all our previous streams there, more or less up to date. And I try to update those regularly. As soon as we're done streaming, I try to get those on there. It's all raw streams, so bear with it until I come up with a good scheme for summaries. But yeah, I think that's it for the night. I don't think there's anything else really to add except